Hello Internet! Today is a very special day. In front of me I have all of the main versions of the Vital Bracelet BE, and today we're going to be unboxing all of them. We're also going to be comparing them to the original Vital Bracelet and the Digivice V, as well as giving my overall first impressions of everything. We're going to take a look at the app for the first time as well. And yeah, before I get into everything though, I do just want to leave a huge disclaimer and let people know I make a product for the Vital Bracelet line, and as I'm giving my opinions, I feel like that is a big enough disclaimer for me to have to mention. And I'm not trying to push my product during this, and I'm not trying to, endorse anything, but I think, that's a big enough bias that you should be aware of, my preferences, because I do have various preferences and things that I strongly, like and dislike about the original product that maybe you care about. So, by the end of the day, this is all just my opinion, but I wanted to make that known so you guys kind of understand, what we're getting into. So, I don't really know where to start. I guess we'll actually just begin with the regular one because this is actually the one I'm the most curious about. I did get the two anniversary editions, the two like brick looking ones. We have a standard, just black one, and then this is the Digivice VV, which I believe is the tie-in to the anime, and I think there's a pre-order bonus with it as well. I have to just be completely honest with you guys. I love anime aesthetic and all, but I'm not a big anime fan. If you guys have kept up with me on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and whatnot, you'll know that I like the Digimon franchise, but I'm not really a big Digimon anime watcher, so I didn't really keep up with Ghost Game past episode 3 where we kind of roasted it on stream. So, anywho, opening this up, it looks like the boxes are, largely the same as what they were for the original Vital Bracelet. We have the bracelet itself, which is actually pretty cool. I didn't think that this strap would be translucent as well, which is really neat. The actual bracelet we'll get to here in a moment, but aside from that, it comes with typical instruction booklet, and it comes with a micro USB cable. No BE memory or the new DIM cards. These things do take both the BE memories and the original DIM cards. I don't see one at all. Was it supposed to come with one? I presume it should have, because that's what this looks like. Am I missing something? I'm gonna open this one up. I'm just really curious. Okay, so this one has that cable, and same thing. Nothing in there. Interesting. So, okay. I guess that's just how things are. We'll kind of dig into it and find out how this works and operates. We're going to close this for now. One of the things, actually, before we get super in-depth, and this is not going to be a full teardown video. I know a lot of you guys watch my videos because you want to know more about the insides of this device, how to repair your own Digivice V or your original VB, all that stuff. We're not really going to be doing that today. I kind of want to actually wear and use this thing as a stock device for maybe about a week or so, and then make a full review video if that's something that you guys are interested in. But I feel like because it's a new product, I should definitely give it another fair shot. One of the things about this particular Vital Bracelet is that it's supposed to be 10% thinner than the original Vital Bracelet, and if you guys remember this thing, it's a chonker. It is a large device. So I'm actually going to open one of these up real quick. Oh, I have this one open already. And do a quick comparison. And this is, the old packaging that I'm kind of used to having, the wasteful plastic and having a versus DIM and a spare DIM over here. We're going to set that aside for a second and compare the two. And it is a little bit thinner. Marginally, so it's kind of hard for me to line everything up here. I think the claim of being 10% thinner, in my head, actually just attributes, and actually I think I'm correct, the 10% thinness doesn't actually come from anything inside, which we'll kind of take a look at here in a bit, but the screen is pushed up really, really close to the front. And on the original bracelet over here, there's actually kind of an air gap between the screen and the plastic housing up front. So I think that's what is saving it. I thought they would have smoothed this out because this is the heart rate sensor, and it tends to annoy a lot of people, myself included, because it kind of pushes down against your skin, as you can kind of see here. A couple of other things. The buttons are a lot bigger, and what I really like about these buttons already is that one of the problems with these buttons is that this is actually a single piece of plastic. It's a tiny thin piece of plastic that's housed in between, and in between this injection mold is this little like rib, and that would actually push against the button, but it's very easy for it to get misaligned and knock itself out of alignment, get really mushy, miss inputs, or even break the button. So what I really like about this one is that you can actually see the little injection molded peg that hits the switch. You can actually see the switch here directly, even though my camera isn't zooming in properly. There we go. But there you can see the little plus, and you can see the micro switch under it, just because this is the clear one. We also have this giant little flap. That's a contradiction. We have this flap here for micro. Yes, it is micro USB. Man, my camera does not want to cooperate right now. Anywho, yeah, it's micro USB. So it is what it is. We all kind of knew that already going into it. We have the new B memory slot area, which apparently works with micro SD cards as well. DIMM cards were originally based on micro SD cards anyway. There's some alterations to them, but you know, they're more or less the same. So let's go ahead, actually, how do I power this on? There's no power switch on the back like there was for the original. So, man, I guess I'm gonna need an instruction booklet. Or do I just hold both buttons? Let's hold both buttons. There we go. And boom, it says B. I gotta say, I love the new font, and I like the overall design language of this quite a bit. I know that a lot of people are kind of indifferent to it. They're wondering, like, why is there a different font? Why does it look like this? Why is everything kind of like bright green? Total bias again. I love mint green. It's one of my favorite colors. That might actually just be my favorite color next to, you know, black and copper. But I love the mint green aesthetic. I did actually peek into the app once, and I love the overall look of it. I have some annoyances, which we'll kind of get to in a bit, but I'm actually going to go ahead and wear this for a moment, just to see if the experience is a little different. This clasp here, historically, has always just kind of popped off with a finger. If you go to reach into your pocket, if you're going to grab something, if you're like me and you pick something up at like a local supermarket, this thing has a tendency to just kind of fall off. I don't love it. I will be honest, I still don't love it. This also feels on the wrist just as thick as it did before. One of my biggest complaints, and again, I'm trying not to get too into it right now, I don't like the way wearing a Vital Bracelet feels at all, and some people really do, and that's perfectly fine. If you like it, then quite frankly, you'll probably like this one. I feel like it's wider than it is. It's a lot wider this time around than it was before. I guess I'll just put this on my other wrist because there's no other way to do a full comparison. And the straps actually feel longer, so they do have them like the adult bands, because this thing here, I'm barely, like, I think I'm on the second to last one, and I have pretty small arms and wrists, as you can see. But yeah, they are both still just as thick and chonky. This one definitely feels wider. It actually looks wider as well. But yeah, I mean, it's like a little bit less intrusive. I'm still not a huge fan of it. Like, this thing was massive and chonky. Still really big. I guess the overall width, let me pop these off real quick. Overall width of these is, yeah, this one. So these are obviously plastic bands. You can remove these and you can do whatever. But if I'm just like pressing against them where they start to, you know, bend, the B is just bigger. It's a bigger band. I realize I'm not centering this. As you can see, I'm new to unboxing videos, so I apologize. I guess that's not entirely true. I do teardowns. But first impression unboxings, these are brand new to me. So let's pop this thing open. I'm just gonna keep just saying next, and very similar sound effects, which I'm personally gonna turn off because I've never been a big fan. Set your, oh, they have a gender thing, so you have like a body type A, body type B kind of deal. So that's neat. Sure. complete. Great. I hope you don't ask me for a B memory. It didn't. Okay. So, some of the menus here. Let me see if I can. There we go. So there's a status screen. Oh, goodness gracious. Please? Okay. Oh man, we may have to do this in the app. I don't know how Humulus and everything does it. He absolutely has to have his camera focused in advance. Okay, so we've got a status screen, a training screen. You guys may have to just kind of bear with me here because I did not focus my camera. An adventure mode, character, which I'm assuming is like the storage thing from the last Vital Bracelet, a connect screen, and a system screen. So, oh, and there's also a memory screen. What is that? Oh, it's to insert your memory. There's also the... Honestly, this looks relatively similar to the last one. The only major difference that I see is that there is, if you hit the little down button before where it told you to connect to the app, there's a series of stats that you can only vaguely see because my camera isn't focused. I apologize. But it looks like there's footsteps, squats, crunches, punching, and running. So basically the same activities that they had you do in the original Vital Bracelet are now stats, which I presume will kind of go back to the arena. Oh, that's neat. They also log up to 3 days. So there's like 1 day ago, 2 day ago, 2 days ago, and 3 days ago. So that's kind of cool. I can't do a status on anything. I assume I can't train. Oh, I can do just generic training for fun. So I can do like the running, the squatting. I'm assuming that the heart rate sensor is going to be largely the same as what it was for the Vital Bracelet, or the Digivice V. Connect is going to say to connect to the phone, so we'll skip that. And then in the options... Oh, so now the whole, like, heart rate thing that many people are familiar with, so, like, setting, like, your resting heart rate and stuff, is now done in here. You just hold both again. And same thing as before. It checks your heart rate. I'm just not going to have it do anything. I'm just going to leave it be and see what happens. Of course, I'm going to be wearing this and using it like an actual product here for a week, so I just kind of want to see what happens if it gets nothing, because the Digivice V, for instance, if nothing happened, it would default to a working value so that you wouldn't just instantly lose your Digimon as long as you shook this thing around or whatnot. So this thing looks like it's actively waiting for me, so something tells me that the sensor is reasonable. Oh, it said complete. Maybe I take that back. And it's set to 8080. So in the original Digivice V, or what is this? The original Vital Bracelet. All these names are getting mixed up to me. They feel like iPhones with their naming conventions. The original Vital Bracelet, if you weren't using it or wearing it, that would set the resting heart rate to 65, and your Digimon would lose vitals and eventually just die if you didn't wear it after 24 hours. The Digivice V actually did not do that. If the heart rate sensor didn't work out entirely, they kind of gave you a failsafe, and this appears to be quite similar to that. So that may be good news for a lot of people who are more focused on the Digimon / partner raising aspect rather than the fitness side of things, because I mean, let's be honest, these are not exactly the best fitness devices ever, and I think if you're looking to get a true fitness device, then you should probably go find like a Fitbit or a Garmin watch, or heck, even the new Apple Watches, or just a standard Android Wear smartwatch, because they will track your various things with health, not just heart rate, but they'll do blood oxygen levels, sleep stress levels. Some of them even like track like if you've drank water. All of these things that are going to be more useful for you. But if you're looking for a game that incentivizes you to get up and moving, then these are great. So I think really that's the gist of everything in here. We'll pop a B memory later. Oh, there's backgrounds. They're just different colors. Well, I'm keeping the original because I like it. What else? Brightness, volume, date, and then an information screen. What are you? Oh, they give you like the firmware version now, so that's cool. I know that there is a way to update the firmware. I don't know exactly how that's going to be done. I don't know if that's been fully disclosed. I presume it's going to be through microSD, because I think that part was said. I don't know where the update's going to come from, if you have to like go on Google and find the update that you want and then flash it onto an SD card. I don't know. So that is the base what is it? Vital Bracelet BE. There's too many names. I'm going to continuously mess that up, so I apologize. And you can see it's actually checking for my heart rate right now. I'm very surprised that it didn't come with a B memory, like at all. I'm not sure if that's like the norm or not. So I guess we'll crack open this Digimon specific one. So this one is probably the one that I'm going to be using personally because it has the pre-order bonus of what I believe is Vmon. Vmon and the whole Imperial Dramon line is my favorite. It's my favorite Digimon. I have not done my research, nor have I kept up with what has been going on in the Vital Bracelet, or really just the Digimon world lately, just because I've been busy with other projects. So I'm a little out of the loop. This is a very strange way for them to give me a pre-order. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So BE, Imperial Dramon Dim, so this is absolutely what I want. It's interesting that it says Dim on here, because I thought we were moving away from calling them Dims with the whole Vital Bracelet BE thing. But I guess this one is still called a Dim. So let's just open this guy up, and yeah. As far as the overall visuals of this, I mean, it looks very, very much like a Dim card. In fact, I think the dimensions are largely the same except for the end pieces. So if I were to pull out like my Ancient Warriors Dim, I think truly the only difference is the end pieces. Yeah, so like this is more cylindrical and the other one's more squared off, but like other than that, they are basically the same. It looks like it's maybe a half of, maybe even a quarter of a millimeter taller, but like it's insignificant. Honestly, all of your old Dim card accessories are going to work on these things as far as like carrying cases and that type of stuff goes. On the back it does say like it has Bandai's trades and whatnot, so neat. I'm really curious as to why I didn't get a B memory in any of the other ones. I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me why. Because I actually don't think... oh, you know why I probably didn't get one? As I'm saying this out loud. This looks like just a generic Vital Bracelet. Like, there's no branding of any kind of Digimon or anything on this box. I probably should have looked at that earlier. Except for over here, where it says VBM card and Dim card B memory. And that's just telling you the compatibility list. So the reason I probably didn't get one is because I didn't buy a Digimon-specific one. So I'm assuming this one has my Digimon-specific one outside the pre-order. So there's probably going to be, like, yeah, there's a red Dim card in there. It's probably for Gamamon and his line. So that's probably what it is. So I realized that way too late. Same instruction booklet as before. This is, like, not red. I thought it was going to be red. It's not. This is way more on the gamut of, like, pink than it is red. And my camera is not picking that up that well, but this is definitely closer to like a kind of like a magenta red rather than a bright red like this. My camera is really making this look more red than it is, which is a bummer. I'll try to post a picture or something here shortly. You know what I also should have done? I probably should have taken a picture for the thumbnail. Oh well. There's what I presume is going to be some anime tie-in to the logo here as well. And then we've got the Gamamon Dim card. So yeah, okay. So these B memories are still called Dim cards in the Digimon space. So I presume then they won't be called Dim cards for everything else. Because like the anime, what is it, My Hero Academia one? I'm assuming that they don't have a Digimon in there. So it's going to be called something else. I'm curious to turn this one on though and see like, are the menus any different? Or is it pretty much exactly the same until you plug this in and this is what drives the rest of the whole Digimon experience? Because right now, it looks identical. Yep, body type. Yep. So it is identical. There's nothing really to it. So it's not until you add this in, and I'll be doing this at the end of the video because I'm going to get my Vmon. Not in this one though, because quite frankly, I really dislike this color. I think it's interesting though, if we look on the sides here, you can see, because it's translucent, you can see this is the screen bracket. It's actually what holds the screen above the motherboard. And then of course we've got the buttons that are not translucent. They are this like kind of pinkish magenta red. But it is cool to see the internal pieces of this. But how do I turn this off? Do I just hold both buttons? Sleep. No, I don't want to sleep. Oh, that was on the last one. So they basically have the same setup as the Digivice V then. How do I turn this off? System? Dude, how do I turn this off? What if I just hold one button? Alright, we may have to pull out the instructions for... Oh, it beeped. What did it do? What did that do? Okay, so I guess to power it off, on and off, you just hold the bottom button for X amount of time. I don't love that. I don't hate it either. I mean, that's fine. Oops. Okay, so let's put this thing back. Actually, let's just set this aside because we have a mess of product right now. And let's look at these. So this one is the 25th anniversary. Or is it 25th? Yeah, 25th anniversary Vital Bracelet that's themed after the original Digital Monster. So it's got the old school brick aesthetic. And I'm gonna go ahead and just make some people mad now. I don't like the look of the brick aesthetic, like, at all. If you guys have ever seen or interacted with me, you know that I tend to modify my... Wow, that is... Wait a minute. This comes with 2? Oh, I bought 2 of these. Oh, my box is damaged. What a bummer. Okay. Oh, this is really cool. I like this. It's a hollow. This box is really cool. There's a new Digimon as well. I don't know what he is, but you know he's new. So, there's this bear dude. I did not know this came with 2 of them. Oh, and there's a Pulsemon. That's cute. I guess Pulsemon has his own little 8-bit icon now. Sweet. Well, dang, I have a second one now, so I don't know. Maybe we'll figure out something to do with that. Maybe we'll do a giveaway or something. I've never actually done a giveaway for hitting like a certain like threshold. So I don't know. Maybe if I do something crazy. I don't know. Let's say if like this video gets, heck, I don't know, 10,000 views or something. That might be insane. I don't know. Maybe no. Maybe no one's gonna watch that. But I don't know. Let's keep it simple. Let's say if I get 100 likes or something and you leave a comment, then I'll do a random comment generator. You don't need a subscriber, none of that. But we'll give this away if this actually just houses a second one of these, because I don't need 7 Vital Bracelets. So I'll be doing a giveaway for this as well if we hit 100 likes and someone leaves a comment, and I'll just choose a random comment. Does that sound good? Cool. I feel like a dum-dum now because I totally just ordered 2 of these, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, so let's get all this junk out of the way. Let's open this guy up, and let's see what's in it. It's definitely 2 of them. Oh, that's cool! That's so sweet. I don't even know what this is. Thank you for always supporting Digimon. Anytime, Bandai. I'm more than happy to give you guys ideas as well. We still have to look at the app. This is going to be a long video. Is this just like a cardboard, not plaque? But I think this is actually just a piece of cardboard. Check that out. That's actually like really tight. I love that. And this is a Kenji. It was a Kenji Watanabe, the OG artist of Digimon. He still does Digimon cards and stuff too, which is really cool. Sweet. Okay, so I don't need or want any of the instructions, so we're gonna just pitch that. I think that's all that's in the box. I'm gonna drop that on the floor for a bit. And now we have, oh boy, these things. Again, I don't know if this is ruffling anyone's... Oh, it's only 1! What the? Okay, so I don't know if this is ruffling any feathers. I hate the way this looks. I absolutely hate the way this looks. I think it's super bulky. It's weird looking. It's kind of just like a cover for this thing almost. And this is actually not a second Vital Bracelet. It's actually just a replacement cover for you to replace, to swap this out with. So you unscrew the base VB and then it just goes in here. Hypothetically, you could also do that with like one of these, and you can slap this on, pop these bands off, and then just take the core module and then put it in here. These are atrocious. I hate these. But again, I know that there are a lot of people that absolutely love these. There's a lot of like fan-made creations out there where people recreate their own brick style VPETs using like the VB. So I know a lot of people actually do like this, and a lot of people will appreciate these way more than myself. That said, oh man, I'm not I'm not one of these people. Yeah, this is actually just a straight up VBV. It looks like it's the, or B, whatever. It looks like it's actually the black one, wherever I drop this one. So it's basically just this, put into a different skin. So I will more than happily give away the other one because I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with two of these things. But the dim card is really cool. I actually saw somebody in the Discord use one of these already. They have basically like all of the dot Digimon. So like you get like a dot Agumon, and that becomes your partner Digimon for using that. And I think that's super sweet. But anyways, I think we've talked enough about all of this stuff. Let's go ahead and briefly load a Digimon in here, and then let's interface with the app really quickly. So I'm actually going to. I'm not gonna wear this because I'm gonna have to wear this for a full week anyway. So let me just pop this dim card in. And again, I'm sorry that my camera is not catching the focus of this very well. The good news is you don't have to go to the dim card section or the B memory section. You can just plug it in like you normally would, as long as you're in a valid location. Last time these transfers took roughly a minute or so to get going, and it looks like it's probably going to take yet another minute. So I'm going to just kind of leave this here, and we'll take a look at the app. Now, again, I have looked at the app briefly, so we'll actually... Oh, wait, hang on. You've got a foldable phone. You should maybe do this. I've looked at the app briefly once, but... So here's what it looks like. We will lower my brightness a little bit here. That way you guys can see everything. Maybe I should turn it up just a little bit. And unfortunately, I have like one light right above me. This is also, this is a new house, so recording is still kind of new to me. I gotta figure out what works and what doesn't work for the studio session here. So pardon my abruptness. So here it asks you to select a device. Obviously, we'll be using a Vital Bracelet BE. We'll be using Digital Monster. But there are different sections that you can choose. So there's like Ultraman, Kamen Rider, and I think the anime stuff is... I don't know if it's just generic anime stuff. No, it's My Hero. So it actually does have specific things. So I presume whenever we get whatever the heck the other ones are, Demon Slayer, and I don't know what the other one's called, we'll probably have those too. So okay, I have to talk about this now. This loading screen is atrocious. Every single time I've hit a button, and keep in mind, I've only ever been in here once, right? I thought I broke something in the app or I had like a dodgy connection. I can already tell you this drives me crazy. Like if I hit no, okay, cool, I have this like this base team of dudes, I guess. But let's just say I want to assign something. There's a load screen. And it's not just like it's like every single thing I've pressed thus far has a load screen. And I probably should read that and figure out how to assign characters and how to use things. I hit the back button, there's another load screen. I don't understand. It's driving me crazy. Oh, this is done. During my little mini rant. So here it's saying, hey, set your BE, your B. I'm going to mix these names up so much. This is basically acting like a regular Vital Bracelet at this point. Like, it's got the same... It's got the same little egg. So there's a... oh gosh, there we go. It's got a Chibomon egg. Cool. So now I got little homie. Actually, I wonder if do they have custom backgrounds like they did before? Yes, they do. His custom background is exactly the same. I feel like this is just a one-to-one port of Ancient Warriors. I haven't actually seen the evolution line, so hopefully I'm wrong, but I mean, thus far, it's basically the same. The one key differentiating factor behind the B, besides like obviously the hardware redesign, is that you don't have to deal with locked DIMMs, and you can use basically any old DIMM that you want in all the future B memories with one unit, so you didn't need a Vital Bracelet characters or a VBM and the Digital Monster Vital Bracelet, all of that stuff you don't need, which is fantastic. It also interfaces with this app that lets you train Digimon to do these special 2v2 battles, which I admittedly know nothing about yet. Upon poking around, there are different stats that correlate to the type of activities that you do on the bracelet, which I think is great. I think that's super cool. And one of the problems with the battle system, and I can't say problem because it's kind of an acquired taste, but one of what I will call a problem is on the original Vital Bracelet, there are just Digimon that are just objectively better than others pretty much at all times. And if you're looking to play quote-unquote seriously and do raids and whatnot, it kind of behooved you to use a lesser Digimon. And unfortunately for me, my favorite Digimon of all time is Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode. The weakest one. So I didn't really care about rating or anything, so I basically just hung out with my Imperial Dramon Dragon mode till the end of time. So he's still sitting in my original VB Lab app, which I heard transferring is kind of hit or miss. And I don't want to transfer my Digimon that I've had since March of 2021, my very first ever VB Digimon, and lose him. I will happily sacrifice all of my other training dummies and my other silly mons that I've worked on over the time, but my one Imperial Dramon has to stay. So I'd be very curious to see, like, even actually right now as we're kind of looking at this Gamamon and Betel Gamamon, there are stats over here that say, like, here's Gamamon's HP stat of like 2970 and it has plus 0 and so on and so forth. So to me, these look like basically EVs or effort values in Pokemon, and you get them by working out, which I think is super cool. I have no idea how the battles work. There's also an ability section, so what may actually be like this actually could be like a decent battle system with a fair amount of depth. I've always said that like these kind of virtual pet devices should have enough depth for you to think about it outside of the app or the environment of whatever you're dealing with. So, you're thinking about it just, on your day-to-day routine, but also not eat up too much of your time when you're actually playing it. So this has potential to be really cool. They just need to address, well, this every single time. Oh, wow. No load screen this time. That has a load screen. Okay. So I just wish, if they didn't have a load screen to at the very bare minimum to just make the times like shorter, but I'll have a lot more to say about this, in the future when I actually have a Digimon in there. I guess I could technically just run with these two, but I've already seen, Xanax do going in with Imperial Dramon, Paladin mode, and Ragnar Lordmon, so I think I'm gonna get swept if I match up against him with these dudes. So, Christian, if you're watching this, stay away from me. And yeah, I think that's it. Other than that, there's a gift option. You can change what kind of B memory you're doing. You have an item box, which of course I've got nothing in there. And then you've got just general settings. One thing about this, I was actually peeking through this earlier. One of the cool things about the Vital Bracelet Labs app is that when you switch phones, and people who know me know that I switch phones like every couple of months. If you switch phones, it is nice because everything is just cloud synced to your account, so you can just log back in and all of your Digimon are there. I don't see this option in here. Manage data only has the option to delete everything locally, and that's it. I even tried clearing everything out and looking again. There's nowhere to put your Bandai Namco ID, which I don't know if that was by design or if that's coming later or just not happening. I have no idea. You do have to transfer your Digimon over one at a time. At current, this is, launch of December 1st, 2022, so maybe things will change, but currently, you have to put a Digimon onto the bracelet from the first app and then transfer it manually onto the second app. And yes, it does take a minute each time, and there are security checks using the original DIM cards for some of the times when using the original VB Labs app. So hopefully that gets kind of smoothed out. Also, I've heard things, again, I've said this earlier, but you could lose your Digimon at current. So, kind of proceed with caution, if you will. I'll have more to say about this in the next week or two. But I think that's basically the entire app. I mean, it looks less fitness oriented and more about battles, which, as somebody who loves battles and competition and PvP like an unhealthy amount, I'm cool with that. I know some of you guys may not be. Again, we'll talk about this more later. But anyways, I think that basically covers everything about the Digivice, or what is it? The Vital Bracelet BE. If I had $1 for every time I botched that name, I'd probably pay for one of these. So, anywho, yeah, I'm gonna wear this thing for a week, and I'm going to. I will be honest. My first impression, if we're just gonna throw it out there, this feels almost identical to the original. I think hardware-wise, it is probably the exact same. I'm gonna be making a video here shortly, which you'll see probably in the next 24 to 48 hours, of a teardown of this. But it looks and feels pretty much exactly the same, but wider and ever so slightly smaller, but it's not small enough to make any significant difference, especially when daily I wear a smartwatch, which is quite literally like half the thickness. So, not really a big fan of the hardware revisions, although I think aesthetically it looks really cool. Well, maybe not on a wrist. Like, I work at a tech company. If I wore this, even at a tech company, people will still give me funny looks. So, and I know, completely subjective. You guys may or may not care. But I don't like the way it looks on the wrist, but I think the hardware kind of just revision overall aesthetically looks really cool in isolation. Like I think, just off the wrist it looks sweet. I think the buttons are good. I still hate the fact that it's micro USB. I'm curious that there's no longer a power switch. That's probably how they reduce some of the overall size, which is neat. And the VB Lab app, or the VB Arena app, looks kind of cool too. Other than that, yeah, I think it's just going to take a little bit of playing around with and seeing how much of a different experience it's going to be. No pun intended. But, are the exercises going to matter at all? Like, are people going to be motivated enough to actually work out and to exercise and to try different things to boost your stats? Is there a cap on the stats, which I presume there is? Or is this something where people are just going to, shake their wrists around or put it on a spoofer and do what they originally did on the original Vital Bracelet? So yeah, that's that. During my teardown video, we'll kind of go through more of the innards and compare it to the original Vital Bracelet yet again to talk about the differences internally about them and maybe answer some questions that people have about, like the Vital Watch and the Vital Pet, the two products that I make. Again, I really hope that this video was of some help to you guys and that I didn't inject too much like product placement of my own stuff in there. Again, obviously I've got my own biases and you can take or leave those as you will, because by the end of the day those are just my opinions and those aren't going to change. But I hope this kind of gave you guys a little bit of guidance. I'm kind of new to the whole unbox and talk kind of thing as I go. It's usually just like more instructional based. So if this worked out for you guys, let me know. And otherwise, yeah, oh god, this is gonna feel so gross. But like, comment, and you don't have to subscribe really. But share this with people. If we get 100 likes, then I will definitely give out one of these for free because I don't need this. Anyways, that's been all. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day.